Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Poor Decisions Podcast, the podcast where poor decisions are made right. I am your host, Sydney Christensen. What is up, everybody? Long time no see. I hope we're all doing well. Happy summer. I am so glad that it's summer. I am definitely a summer girl through and through. I am so carefree during the summer. I just don't feel like I have that much to stress about. Mainly because I'm not in school, but I'm so happy it's summer. I think we can all agree. I feel like everybody has needed a little vacation, a little mental break from the winter that we had, because this winter was rough, as we know. But it's okay, because it's summertime now. I am home for the summer. I think it's because in Arizona, there's always something going on. Like, oh my gosh, we're going out tonight. There's a darty. This DJ's playing at this bar. We have to go. And then when I'm home for the summer, I live pretty much in the middle of nowhere. So there's not a lot to do, which I can enjoy for a couple of months. It gives me a lot of peace, helps me get back into a routine. So I'm so happy to be home. I'm sure a lot of you that are home for summer from college, or even if you just graduated high school, are so ecstatic that you do not have any school for a couple of months. I know I am. I feel like whenever I'm home too, my mental health is just so much better because I'm surrounded by my family and people that I love, and I don't feel the pressure to do anything or go out. So I'm very happy that I'm home. I'm truly ecstatic. I've been doing very, very well. So many great things are happening right now that I'm truly ecstatic about. I feel like all the hard work that I've been doing is finally being able to pay off, which is very rewarding because sometimes when you put in the work for so many things, it's like, I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know if I should do this. I've been doing it for so long, but things are actually starting to pay off for me, and I'm very, very happy and excited for that. So yeah, I really haven't been up too much. I've just been hanging out with my close friends and my family. I've been really enjoying myself. I've been really taking my time for myself, really getting myself together. I'm starting to become really consistent on social media, which was one of my goals this year. And one of the main social medias that I'm consistent on is TikTok. And I've grown over 5,000 followers within the past month, which is absolutely insane. And I'm so honestly grateful, which if you're not following my socials, go do that right now. I'll link them all in the description of this episode. On everything, I'm Sydney Christensen with 2 eyes. But as I was saying, on TikTok, I have been growing a lot, and a lot of my videos have been getting a lot of views. And I specifically had this one video. It got about, I'm actually going to check how many views, 350k views, where I was talking about my high school experience and a lot of rumors that went around about me in high school. And a lot of people who were commenting on that video related to it a lot, especially because I grew up in a very small town. Even though it's not considered a small town, there were definitely a lot of small town activities and a lot of small town and small-minded people that lived there, which is why I'm so grateful that my family literally got the fuck out of there. I think it was 2 weeks after I graduated, my family decided to move into my family's lake house because there was simply no reason for my family to live in that town anymore, especially too because my sister was going to be homeschooled. I don't think my parents wanted her to go to my high school, if I'm being completely honest, because of my experience. Because in all honesty, my high school experience was a little bit traumatic. It's definitely one of the main things I talk to my therapist about in therapy. Not the jam at all. Not the jam. Whenever I talk about my high school and how like the culture was around there to all my friends in college, they're all like, what the fuck is wrong with people who live in your hometown? Like, that was not my high school experience. I think I had a pretty unique high school experience for sure. But anyways, I wanted to talk about rumors that went around about me in high school, how I dealt with them, just because I don't think it's talked about enough. Obviously, the topic of rumors is talked about a lot, like, oh, it's inevitable that there will be rumors about something that go around in high school because rumors go around people every day. I don't think anybody tells you how to deal with them, and that was just something I really struggled with a lot until my senior year. Because my senior year of high school, I literally just stopped giving a fuck about anything and anyone. I barely went to any senior event because 1, I already had commitments to my cheerleading team where I was working, and 2, I just didn't want to fucking go. I didn't want to be surrounded by people I don't fucking like, so why would I go? So today I wanted to talk about rumors that went around about me in high school and my whole experience with that. Make sure you're following this podcast on all socials, Instagram, TikTok, subscribe to our YouTube if you're not watching on our YouTube channel already, and stream us on Spotify. It'll be all linked in the description. Everything is at the Poor Decisions Pod. And if you want more of me, go follow me, like I mentioned. I'm Sydney Christensen with 2 eyes everywhere, and I'll have all my socials linked in the description. But anyways, let's get into today's episode. So I wanted to talk more about growing up in a small town. Well, technically a small town. I don't know my graduating class's average, but I think it was about 100 people, which might seem a lot for a lot of people, but compared to my college friends' like graduating classes, I had one friend who had like a graduating class of like 500, 2,000, huge numbers. And my graduating class might seem like a lot, but it really wasn't. I feel like everybody in my graduating classes knew everything about each other, even if you didn't personally know them. I feel like I knew personal information about people I've never talked to in my life, and a lot of people knew personal information about me, and I've never had a conversation with these people before. And a lot of people that went to my high school, their parents went to my high school, their grandparents went to my high school, their great-grandparents went to my high school. So it's just like an ongoing effect of like family after family after family after family going to my school. And the longer that your family had either lived in my small town or had gone to my high school, the more status that you had. And status was a huge thing at my school. If you were in leadership, you were considered like the top on the top. Everybody wanted to be your friend because you basically ran the whole student body. I know a lot of schools that's like a different story. The next tier was like if you were in sports, if you were on the football team, the baseball team, the cheer team, track, any sport, you were considered like cooler, I would say. And then it's like the people that are friends with those people but don't really involve themselves much in the school. And then after that's like band, theater, my favorite type of people, to be honest. I was a theater kid in high school, and I met a lot of really nice and cool people who were in my performing arts program at my school and like in band. Honestly, some of the best and most memorable people I've ever met in my life, and kindest. You think that all these people that are in leadership and like setting an example for your school would be nice? No, these are some of the bitchiest people I've ever met in my life. Hands fucking down. And then like at the bottom tier is just like people who stayed out of everybody's business, didn't want to involve themselves in anything, which I completely respect and understand. So as I said, a lot of people that I went to school with, their families had lived in my small town for years at most, which I find funny because a lot of people that I graduated with are settling down in my hometown, and they'll probably do the same thing. They'll eventually get married, have kids, their kids will go to my high school. Like, people take this shit so seriously that older people will go to football games and wear their Letterman jacket, which I think is fucking weird, because you're not in high school anymore. What are you doing? Or people who are on the football team who graduated 5 years ago, they're still running out with the current football team onto the field. Like, what the fuck are you doing? In my opinion, just grow the fuck up. Move on with your life. What is so good about staying in a small town, especially the one that I was in, that you're going to keep staying there? It's just giving peaked in high school. It's embarrassing. But a lot of people with these families had a toxic mindset, like, well, my mom was the captain of the cheer team in the 90s or the early 2000s. Like, put some respect on my name when I can literally give less of a fuck. Like, okay, cool. I don't care. But since my high school was so small, everybody knew everything about each other. You tell something to one person, then all of a sudden 5 more people know, and then all of a sudden 25 more people know. So nobody was safe at all. Everybody knew everything. And when I went through high school, I feel like I was a very controversial student at my high school. You either liked me and were like really cool with me, or you fucking hated my guts. There was no in between. There was no like, oh, like, I've heard of her, like, she seems cool. It was like, no, Sydney's a fucking bitch. I don't like her, da-da-da. When I would never talk to these people, which I look back at now and I can completely care less, and I laugh about it now because I've matured and realized, oh, people's opinions are just gonna opinionate, and there's nothing I can do about it. If that's how they feel, that's how they feel. But when you're 15 years old, it's obviously like the end of the world that people don't like you for no reason. And in my personal opinion, I believe that one of the main reasons that people did not like me was because of rumors that went around about me in high school, because I had some out-of-pocket, crazy-ass stories just go around about my life that were not even true. Like, I don't even know how people come up with this shit. at all. It honestly felt like I was living in a reality TV show. Like, every day I'd go into school and somebody would tell me, like, oh, so-and-so is saying this about you, this is going around said about you, I heard this, and I'd be like, what the fuck? Where are the cameras? Somebody's pranking me right now. This is insane. So let's go through some of the rumors now, shall we? Okay, this first rumor, I find it incredibly hilarious because this was a rumor that went around my high school after I graduated. I had heard this from a girl that I was semi-close with my senior year when I ITA'd for a freshman class, and I would talk to this one girl who was a freshman. Like, I would constantly give her advice. I'd treat her as a little sister. I'd sneak her off campus with me. And I remember one day I was in my ex-boyfriend's dorm. She had called me and we were just catching up, you know, talking about whatever. And she was like, hey, so there's this rumor that's going around about you, and I just want to know if it's true. Which is so funny because I would never do this in a million fucking years. So there's this leadership teacher, and he's also a history teacher. And my senior year, he taught my econ and government class. Me and the girl I sat next to, we would talk to him all the time. We were like kind of buddy-buddy with him. You know how, like, you're closer with some teachers than other ones? It was like that kind of relationship. It was nothing strange. He was also probably the youngest teacher that taught at my school. So he just, like, was very relatable. He knew more about, like, my generation, I guess you can say. He just understood more things that, like, my student body was going through, I guess. So me and the girl I would sit next to, we would talk to him all the time. We would joke with him all the time. Nothing serious, just like a casual, positive teacher-student relationship, nothing more than that. So, somebody had created this rumor that I was sleeping with him throughout all my senior year, which, why the fuck would my 17-year-old self be sleeping with a grown-ass, married with a child teacher? That's absolutely ridiculous. I literally, like, am speechless till this day talking about it because I don't know how people just put those two together. So fucking funny, so weird. She literally told me that and I was like, are you serious? And I started busting out laughing. One, I was like, why would people think that? Two, I thought to myself, oh my gosh, that is so crazy that I graduated months later, that school is still talking about me. Absolutely wild, absolutely insane. Like, what the fuck, dude? That is just so extreme, in my opinion. I want to know whoever came up with that rumor, and I'm assuming it's somebody that was in my government econ class, or somebody who, like, I don't even know, who just, like, saw me interact with this teacher, and they were like, oh, they're definitely sleeping with each other. Like, I'm so curious what that person's, like, point A to point B is. But no, I did not sleep with the teacher from my high school. I don't know why people would think I would do that. That's crazy and absolutely disgusting. He literally has a wife and kids, and plus he's probably 15, 10, I don't remember his age, years older than me. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, this next rumor, this was my freshman year of high school. I had this, like, little fling boyfriend. It was like an on again, off again thing. There was a rumor going around after we broke things off that I had cheated on him, which I feel like whenever a couple breaks up at your high school, a lot of people just go to that mindset of like, oh, one of them definitely cheated, that's why they broke up. That makes the most sense because people don't have an insight on what the relationship was like. This rumor honestly doesn't bother me that much because I know that it's true, and I know that person that I was in this relationship with knows that's not true either, whether he lies about it or not. So this one never really, like, stuck deep in me just because I knew it wasn't true. But I never cheated on my freshman year boyfriend because, again, I just don't see the point in that. Alright, this next one's actually really funny in my family and my friends, like, circle, because it's absolutely ridiculous. I think it's funny because people still believe it till this day and ask my best friend Chloe about this till this day. So my freshman year, I got really close with Chloe, who is my best friend. She's practically my sister. We got close extremely fast. That summer, it was literally just us hanging out all the time. She would constantly spend the night throughout high school. That was, like, my ride or die. That was my BFF. That was my lifeline. She is literally my everything. I don't care. I will talk about my best friend Chloe like she is my boyfriend, because that is simply my soulmate. So Chloe travels with me. She comes on family vacations with me. My family will personally invite her. Like, for example, my family just went on a little mini beach vacation to Santa Cruz, and my mom completely invited her without even asking me, which I think is hilarious. My mom and her text, my grandma asked me about her constantly. She's very, very close with my family. So throughout high school, I was way more of a controversial person than Chloe. So a lot of people would like question why Chloe was friends with me, because there was always something about me going around, something about me that was always being said. Whether it was a rumor like this or whether it was somebody calling me a bitch, like there was always something. So people would constantly ask Chloe or even ask me like, "Oh, are you guys even friends? Like, are you sure you guys are friends?" And then there was this rumor that Chloe didn't like me and that she was using me to go on like vacations and stuff with my family, or just to like do whatever, which I just think it's so funny. It was to the point where my sophomore year I had a lot of drama with my high school's cheer team, which I will get into a whole other episode. That's literally a full fucking story. And the girls on the team were trying to get me kicked off the team, and they went up to Chloe, like a group of them during class, and they were like, "Hey, so we were wondering if you had any videos of Sydney like smoking or drinking that we could send to our coach. Like, we're just curious if you have anything on her. Like, if you have any dirt." And Chloe was like, "What the fuck?" And I think her exact words were like, "Why the fuck would I give that to you? Why the fuck are you asking me? I'm her best friend." And the girls were like, "Oh, really? I didn't know you guys were actually close like that." So fucking weird. So weird. Chloe and I talk about it all the time. People will actually go up to her when she's working at her job and be like, "Oh, so are you and Sydney like actually friends? Are you guys friends still? Like, what's going on with that?" And she'll be like, "Yes. Why are you in our business like that? That is so weird." It's so interesting to me how people want to be so involved and know everything about your life. I think it's absolutely insane, to the point where they're questioning friendships of like, "Oh, are they actually best friends like they say they are?" Or like how they post on Instagram, are they actually friends? So stupid. Yes, Chloe is my fucking friend. She is my sister. And Chloe does not hate me in any shape or form. I can promise you that. If anything, she hates everybody that we went to high school with. So if the shoe fits, wear it. Alright, talking more about my high school's cheer team and my experience. There was so much drama within the team itself and even the coach on that team. It was to the point where I started hating the sport that I loved the most. People in my town always knew me as the cheerleader. I've been cheerleading all-star since I was, I think, 4 or 5 years old. I've been cheering for a very, very long time. Throughout elementary school, throughout middle school, I would wear cheer bows in my hair because I immediately would have practice after. It was the only thing that I could talk about. So a lot of people knew me as the cheerleader. As crazy as that might sound, and as like fucking narcissistic and stupid as it may sound, like that's, I feel like growing up was what I was known for, especially too because I was the most consistent with the sport. I grew up with a lot of girls who did cheerleading, but they would end up quitting in middle school and moving on to a different sport. Me, I did it throughout my whole life, including college. So I cheered my freshman, sophomore, junior year of high school, and then my senior year I had tried out for my team, made it, and then I decided, you know what, fuck this, I'm quitting. I had no friends on my team. The friends that I had on my team, they quit or they graduated. I had 2 friends who were a year older than me, so when I was a junior, they were seniors. Their senior year, they quit for the same reasons, because they were like, this shit is so fucking stupid. Why am I on a toxic team? This is ruining my mental health. I'm not going to do this my senior year. So I ended up doing the same. It's your last year of high school, especially before everybody moves away and goes to college. I didn't want to be involved on a team that was, 1, toxic as fuck, literally meanest of the mean girls, so fucking mean, so terrible. And then 2, I just felt like I was at a higher level than my high school's cheer team. They were doing stunts that I've been doing since I was 12 years old. I wanted to progress, especially because I wanted to go to college for cheerleading, which I eventually did, but it wasn't because of my high school's cheer team. I had tried out for an all-star team for a very big program. I made the team that I wanted to be on, and my parents told me, like, it's between the two, whether I go back to all-star or whether I go back to cheer. Me, I'm obviously going to go to the team that's at my level, not toxic, and where I could advance my skills, potentially, and get more recognized and eventually build a title to go to college, which I did, which I'm proud of myself till this day about it. I will brag about it till the day I die. I do not care. So when people started finding out I didn't make the cheer team, and a lot of people already knew about the drama that had gone on between me and the whole team, because I swear my whole school knew about it. I was getting so many texts from random people about it. It was not a great time in my life, to be completely honest. I almost moved high schools because of it. So then there was the rumor of, oh my gosh, she didn't make it. She got kicked off because of like X, Y, and Z, which wasn't the case. I just didn't want to be on the team anymore because it's full of toxic girls who are just fucking mean. Why would I want to be on that? This rumor did not hurt me at all, to be honest, or I really didn't care about this rumor because I could care less about the team, but I still think it's funny that people assumed that I got kicked off. I feel like even though the amount of drama there was and what was going on, my coach knew she couldn't kick me off because of my skill level, because my high school cheer team was not good. At all. Like, at all. I remember even watching them my senior year, and maybe I'm just a fucking hater, but not being impressed. I was like, wow, I really didn't miss out on anything. Alright, the final rumor that I'm going to be talking about today is my absolute favorite because I think it's hilarious. So, as I was just talking about, my senior year, I was not on the cheer team, which meant if I wanted to do school activities, which I didn't really want to anyways, I could go do them. So my school always does this back to school rally every year. It's like the first Friday of the school year. It's this big old thing, and it's during school hours, so you're kind of required to go. And I was really excited to go because I had only experienced rallies as somebody who was kind of working the school rally, because as a cheerleader you're trying to hype up your class, you do a performance eventually, you're tumbling, you're doing a bunch of things. So I never got to enjoy the rally. So I was really excited to go because I was like, oh my gosh, it's my senior year, I finally get to go and participate in a rally. I actually sang the national anthem at this rally, which makes this story even funnier in my opinion. So there was this one game, I don't even fully remember what the game was, but it was a 2-person game, and by some point you're supposed to wheelbarrow with the other person. And if you don't know what that is, basically one person is in a push-up position and then the other person is holding their feet and you have to walk like to point A to point B. And if you have listened to my first episode, this name should sound familiar. Me and my friend Bleachers, we decided, hey, let's do this rally game together. Fuck it, it's our senior year. Let's go play. Since everybody in my senior class was lame and didn't want to play any rally games. So there was this miscommunication on the wheelbarrow, and he got into the push-up position to do the wheelbarrow. I didn't realize I was supposed to grab his feet. I thought the roles were going to be reversed. So he ended up knocking me over, and Bleachers, he's very muscular, way bigger than me. So he ended up kicking me on accident. I fell over, hit my head on the basketball court, and was knocked out, lights out. No one was home. I was done for. 3 hours later, woke up in the hospital, confused as fuck. So Bleachers ended up knocking me out on accident at a school rally in front of everybody. Oh my god. So, like I said, I woke up in the hospital and was like, oh my fucking god, what the fuck happened? I had a major concussion because I was literally knocked out cold. And basically, from what I was told, when I got knocked out, they continued with the rally. They had, like, the VP come in to try to, like, help me, but he wasn't much help. He was just standing over me from what I've seen from this video, which I will get into. They let marching band perform. They let color guard perform, which, imagine a girl just laying there practically dead, and they don't move her or stop the rally, evacuate people, anything, and they let color guard perform, which color guard is the people who throw around the flags and stuff. I actually really like our color guard. I was very entertained whenever I got to watch them. And there's just this girl laying down. Like, what if they threw those heavy ass, big ass flags, fell on my head again? Like, what the fuck? Like, there was no thinking at all in this situation. They eventually waited for the rally to be over. Everybody cleared out, everybody left. I got moved into a wheelchair. My mom took me to the hospital because she was not gonna let my school take me to the hospital. Fuck that. Oh my god, my mom was pissed from what I remember, because my doctor had told her if I had knocked my head so hard to the point where I had a brain bleed, because of the way my school handled it, I would have died. Like, I would have been dead by the time I woken up in the hospital, which that scared the fuck out of my mom. But when I was told what was happening, I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh my gosh, of course this would happen to me. The world's gonna end. I hate my life. What the fuck, this would happen to me. Again, one of those things where it's like, cut the cameras. Deadass. What the fuck? And I didn't go on my phone much because I had a concussion. But videos were posted, as everything does. Pictures were posted, because whenever something like that happens, of course it has to be filmed, or it has to be taken a picture of for proof that it happened. And I was absolutely mortified. I didn't want to go to school. I believe I didn't go to school for like 2 days because I just told my parents, I was like, I'm so embarrassed to go back to school. This is the end of my life. Like, this is so embarrassing. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Everybody knows what happened. Oh my gosh, I had a meltdown about this. I was freaking the fuck out. So eventually I had gone back to school. People were asking me about it left and right. I did not want to talk about it because it was so embarrassing. And plus, like, you already saw what happened. I got knocked out in the middle of the basketball floor. Like, what are you going to ask me how it happened? Because everybody saw. So then I would be in class and people would airdrop like pictures of it happening, the video. I'll put the video in so you can understand how terrible this was for me. But people were airdropping it in my classes, laughing about it, and it was so fucking embarrassing. I literally was like, oh my god, this would happen to me. Why? God, why? But people started thinking that I faked it and was doing it all for attention. Like, I remember hearing about one girl being like, she fucking faked it. She's an attention whore like that. Which, why the fuck would I want to do that? And why would I cause a hospital bill like that for my family? Like, oh my god, I'd have to be insane to fake that shit for attention. Are you serious? That's not even, in my opinion, that's not even good attention. That's just like, I don't even know. Fucking ridiculous. I remember there was another girl that I grew up with too, and she was telling people that she thought it was so funny and that I deserved it, which, okay girl, that's not cute to say to people in my opinion, but absolutely insane. I did not fake it, obviously. I kind of wish I did. I feel like it would save me from the embarrassment. God, people are ridiculous. They'll assume everything until they believe that, oh, that actually happened. Because again, why would I do any of the things that I just talked about? Or why would that happen to me at all? So weird. So fucking weird. But you know what? Rumors will always be rumors. I've had my fair share of rumors go around about me, obviously, that I just shared with you. I feel like that's not even the half of it. A lot of it would be like even like little stupid things that I don't even remember because they're so irrelevant to me. Those are just the main ones that I remember being like huge and highly talked about. Even teachers would talk about it, which is absolutely ridiculous. Like, even my teachers would like go and gossip with students. It was so gross. But that's because those teachers graduated from my high school as well and just decided to go teach there because, you know, small town, small mindset. And you know what? In the moment, these obviously really, really sucked for me because rumors are obviously not true most of the time, and the fact that I knew that they weren't true, but everybody else thought they were true, and not that many people asked me for my side of the story when they heard these rumors go around. A lot of people at my high school just would, like, be a sheep and, like, follow whoever started that rumor because they know me so well. But for me, it just felt like everybody was in my business when it wasn't even my business because it wasn't even true. Like I said, it felt like I was in a reality TV show. Like somebody was taking my words, twisting it, or somebody was taking something that I did or some kind of event that happened in my life and twisted the whole thing, and then everybody just chose to believe that was what actually happened because people like to believe stupid shit like that. But luckily I could laugh about it now and obviously talk about it because at the end of the day, I know that it's not true, and the people that choose to believe this stuff, they don't know me and they know a perception of me that is not accurate at all. I like to think rumors as the toxic gossip train. The toxic gossip train. Do you guys remember that apology video last summer that Colleen Ballinger made with her little ukulele? How could you not forget? Because that was insane. Oh my god. Can we talk about that for a second? Didn't she get accused for like being a child predator or something? I swear I saw something where she was like sending her underwear to her underage fans, which you're fucking weird for that. But I remember watching her apology. I think it was like 12 minutes or like a 10-minute video with her little ukulele and her singing. And I was like, jaw on the fucking floor. What the fuck was that? I've watched a lot of apology videos in my life, but that one was top tier insane. But anyways, back to my version of the toxic gossip train. So now that I've gotten older, this is how I think of rumors. So there's this train. The person who started this rumor, they're the one conducting it. They're the one controlling the train, where it's going, how far it will go, because they're in charge of it. They're the reason that rumor is going around. So the conductor gets to the station. All aboard! Look at what news I have today. Look at what information I have on someone today. You're going to want to hear it. Get on my train. Everybody's going to want to be on this train because everybody knows it's true. But so the conductor gets to the station, tells everybody, hey, you're going to want to get on this because this is happening and this is true. Some people at that station decide, you know what? I'm going to hop on this train because the conductor is very trustworthy. I trust this conductor to drive this train. So they keep going with it. They are riding this train, believing whatever they want, saying whatever they want, adding on to the ride, maybe adding on to a story about the rumor that this gossip train is on. And then the train comes to a stop at a different station. Some of the people on the station get off because they're over it. They don't care anymore. Time has passed. They want to go on to a different train because they're sick and tired of this train ride that they're on. And some people stay on that train because they simply have nothing better to do. They simply have nothing else to talk about. So they'll keep riding this train for however long they want until they go on to the next station. Sometimes maybe they'll get off at that one, maybe the next one, or maybe they'll never get off this train. We never know. Some people even at the station get on another toxic gossip train about whatever else. So that's how I think of rumors now, and that's honestly helped me a lot. So make sure next time you get on a toxic gossip train, that's definitely a ride that you want to be on, because sometimes it might not be with the most trustworthy conductor. Ooh, that was kind of good. I'm giving myself credit for that one. Anyways, I'm going to conclude today's episode. I had a lot of fun talking with you guys today. I love episodes like this where I talk about my own personal life experiences. I think it's a lot of fun. Little trip down memory lane, but in a positive way. If you want more of the Poor Decisions podcast, make sure you're following us on all socials so you can keep up with every new episode that comes out every Friday now. If you've been a listener, you know that I used to post on Mondays. Well, now I will be posting on Fridays because it's more helpful with my schedule. And plus, that's a little fun way to end your week, a little Poor Decisions episode. So you could go into the weekend making more poor decisions. So now Poor Decisions Mondays will be Poor Decisions Fridays. PD Fridays, whatever you want to call it. I'm very excited. Also, I feel like I need like a little like name for my listeners. I thought of like poor decisioners, but that's stupid. So if you have any suggestions, comment down below. But like I said, make sure you're following us on all socials. If you're streaming this on Spotify, make sure to rate this 5 stars. That helps me out a lot. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe and like and comment this video. That is greatly appreciated. And if you want more of me, your host, hi, make sure you're following me on all my personal socials at Sydney Christensen with 2 eyes on everything. Follow me on TikTok especially. I'm having a lot of fun on there. I feel like I share more of my life on TikTok than I do on Instagram, so make sure to go check that out. But anyways, I hope you guys had fun with me today talking about shit that went around about me in high school on the fun toxic gossip train, and I will see you next week for a very special episode. I love you so much. Have the best day ever. You are the best. Never forget it. I love you. Bye.